What made you look for such a completely different approach of playing the guitar?
Well, I think that I'd reached a plateau in about around 1987. I'd been playing professionally for quite a long time, and I'd made 6 albums of fingerpicking guitar, and all these albums were with my own compositions, but they were played in a certain guitaristic style, and I was starting to feel limited by that, always having to only hear that one way of having the music come out. And I'd always noticed with an acoustic guitar that you can make fantastic drum sounds on it. So in 1987, it was just an experiment. I went, if I were to somehow play guitar and drums at the same time, what would that sound like, and how would I do it? Well, immediately I realized that if you're playing like this, you're not going to be able to also be playing drums unless you stop playing and then play drums, okay? But if I do this, if I begin with the drums and then add the guitar playing in, it sounds very different. So you can see that what I did was I really reversed the question, and instead of going, how do I add drums into my guitar playing, I went, I'm going to pretend I've never picked up a guitar before, and what would I do? If I want to hear drums, I'm going to start with the drums, and then figure out a way to bring the guitar playing into a drum groove that's already there, and that worked.
Did that started by lack of other musicians around you in a social circle or whatever?
Well, you could say that, except that I really wanted to see if it could be done, because I've always been a solo guitarist, and I wanted to see if it could be done on solo guitar, and there was definitely a way to do it. Now, one thing I want to say, because this comes up often, is that percussive guitar playing is getting very popular now, but a lot of it is about people, they're still playing conventionally and then playing drums and then playing conventionally, and
switch.
This, as you can see, was an integrated drum groove. Okay, it was completely integrated. The percussion is completely in there.
Yeah, it's one complete. Well, as many people often say, a complete band actually playing just by one person.
Mm-hmm. I don't really call it a technique. I call it's an approach. It's a way of thinking. Because I play a lot. There's a lot of techniques going on. And from tune to tune, you'll hear different things. And sometimes the left hand is doing one thing and the right hand's doing something else. And then those roles can switch from tune to tune. But the approach, the thinking behind it is that the groove happens first and the guitar happens second. Yeah. And so it's music, and yet it's not music that you would normally hear on the guitar.
No, but it sounds very harmonic, organic as well. I also read that you are using at times scordature, which is lowering the bass string. What's the goal of that?
Oh, I'm a bass junkie. I just love. I love to hear the entire tonal spectrum, Okay. And so again, because I'm playing a solo instrument, I want to have as wide a tonal range as possible. So I tend to play in tunings where I've got a very low bass going on. And also I tend to play so that there's so that my left hand is often playing the bass part of the guitar, and my right hand is playing the higher strings of the guitar. So it's almost like you do have two different instrument systems going on the same instrument.
Has it also to do with a preference for a wide palette of sounds?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes. Very much so. I want the music to be living and breathing, and to have a balance of low and high, a balance of
and as broad as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Then you can have all the colors available.
Absolutely.
During making music. You also use several styles and branches of guitar, from electric to acoustic. I see you at this moment have very beautiful instruments, 2 guitars. What's your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. I would say that, you know, the acoustic obviously is the one that I've played the most. But I love you know, the right music played on the right instrument, put it that way. And so I've got an archtop jazz guitar here,
yep.
And for that, you know, with that guitar, I play a very different kind of music, although it's still groove-oriented music, but it's, you know, it sounds different, but it's still got its own kind of unique space. And I hope that what I do on each guitar that I play is, you know, works best with that guitar and makes the most of what that guitar has to offer.
Maybe also the other way around. The thing you want to express, especially in this way of, let's say, colorite, the color of sound, that determines the choice on which guitar is going to be played.
Absolutely, okay. Yes.
So you can put the other way around as well.
Yeah, you know, if I'm in the mood for something that's sort of, you know, sort of sexy and jazzy, I'm probably going to be playing the jazz guitar, because it's just got a softer sound to it, you know. Whereas if I want to be funky and percussive, I would probably play the acoustic. Well, I think, you know, performing involves, you know, just like composing involves, you have to be several different people at the same time. Yeah. You have to be both in it, you know, creating it, and you also have to be overseeing it and critiquing what happens as it comes along. And you also have to be opportunistic in terms of, you know, you have to see how things are going, and at the same time, completely be in it, you know. So it's a strange kind of awareness, and I think it's, you know, it's a rather complex kind of awareness that has to go on.
I always call it a bit schizophrenic.
Yeah.
But there you are. It truly is like that at the moment you're on stage. Can you tell me, how does a composition see the light? Tell me something about the process of creation.
I would say, you know, you begin with, it depends on the kind of tune. You know, if I'm writing a ballad, it would be probably a harmonic progression and a melody that grabs me. And then it's really just doing lots and lots and lots and lots of trial and error. And as things move along, you step back and look at, you say, where's this going? Is this where I want it to go? And if not, I might move it into a different direction. Or if it's telling me where it wants to go, and it's looking good, I let it go there. Yeah. You know, so it's a combination of letting it happen and directing what happens. Yeah. And you have to be able to do both.
Yeah. As far as I notice, you probably don't have a preference for harmonics or melodic lines. It's both ways.
It's everything, you know. I mean, every single thing. You know, sometimes just, you know, a pure melody is the starting point, and it's the best thing going on, you know, and you want to just support that. Other times it's a groove, and I'll have no idea what the melody's going to be, and I don't really need to know at first. Just get in the groove, and usually with a tune like that, sooner or later the melody will come along. You know, let that happen and go with it.
It comes organically.
Yeah,
that's it. It belongs to that harmony without knowing in advance. Mm-hmm. Acting on such high level of stages that you are can give a mental pressure. How do you tackle this teasing that state of mind?
Well, before every show I've done thousands and thousands of shows, but you know, there's always a feeling of nervousness. But I've learned that that's a good thing. Being nervous before a concert is really, it's a positive thing, because that nervousness, because it's going to turn into the energy in the concert. And what I also try to do, and the more experience I've gotten in doing this, is I try not to pressure myself. I try to say things to myself like, I've done this thousands of times, and it'll be all right. You know, I really love it. I love playing for people, and I love playing my music, and so, you know, and I'll say that to myself. I love this.
What helps you to relax in general? For instance, after concerts, what are you accustomed to do? Grab a beer, or go to,
you know, it's nice to have a drink. It's you know, and you know, I ride my mountain bike.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, and I try to take care of myself physically, and
good. And
I love food. I love to eat well. I love to cook.
Oh, great.
So I'm you know, into food and wine and cigars occasionally, but only when I come to Holland.
Yeah. Kathy, does he have favorite recipes he can make very well?
He's got lots of excellent recipes, actually.
Okay, yeah. That's a very diplomatic answer. Thank you.
I do most of the cooking.
Okay, oh, that's why.
I do all the cooking, actually.